Welcome back to the Growing Media MarketAbilities podcast. I totally screwed that up.
You did. I love that the audio guy always grabs the microphone. Stop.
This
Stop
is for the viewers and the listeners.
Stop.
We are
They just
doing
turned us off.
ADSR today.
Yes.
No, we're not.
Okay. We're not.
What are we doing today, Angie?
Well, look, we've been talking about it. And so I don't know how I come down on the matter, but because I have a twofold thought process here.
Sure.
So over lunch, randomly, we were discussing the path taken by one Jeff Bezos. Okay.
Yeah.
And
does everybody know who that is?
you wouldn't know him if I gave you his real name here. But look, education, the guy couldn't study enough, top earner in his class, did really well, read everything, and look at him today. Yeah, one of the wealthiest individuals. The other side of things, you got this new generation and all these new ideas and ways of doing business. And I'm not saying they're doing it better, they're doing it worse, but a lot of folks are doing it without that 4-year degree that we all thought we needed to go and get, for verification or validation.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Do you have a 4-year degree?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any education? Well, see, just because they didn't call it a 4-year degree, I'm going to say you have a master's degree with all your studying. And
so I did an associate's at community college, and then I did a master's program of audio in like a privatized school.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was the right move for you. It
was, because I finished school in like a year. I wish I just would have went there right away.
Yeah.
And skipped the associates, but
it's what works for you, and but here's the one thing I will say to you, because I made my last student loan payment when I was 35 years old. Do not go in debt. I don't believe in that. Unless you have a plan. For instance, if you're thinking about the medical field and you've got it, if you're in the medical field, we want you to go to school. We want you to learn all you can learn and take care of us well. But there are so many programs where if you pledge to come and work for them for 5 years, they're going to pay for all your school.
Right.
So maybe have that set up,
And but as more of a business owner, there are safe ways to use debt. So for example, one guy pointed out I was watching a video. He said he figured out that this particular Facebook ad that he was running was coming back 2 to 1. So he would spend $50, but he'd make $100 off of it.
Right.
And so then he ramped it up to like, I don't know, $500 a week or something, whatever it was. And then he's like, and then he made 1,000 roughly.
Okay. This was the guy that sold. You told me the story.
No, I don't think I did. I have. No, this is a different guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He sells like online programs or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, so he was like, well, why don't I just take out a credit card and just drop like 30 grand?
Ooh, he jumped right to there?
Yeah. He just went for it. Oof. And so he put 30 grand on a credit card that gave him points for flights so that him and his family could go on trips whenever they wanted, which basically filled up right away.
Okay.
And within a month, he made like 80 grand or something.
Dude. And he paid it all back.
Yeah.
So
you can utilize it as long as you have that what do they call it? The measured risk.
Measured risk.
Is like you kind of already have evidence that it's going to double.
That's right.
So why not just drop the money and just go for it?
I've heard so many stories of people taking, and these are all ideas and what other people have done, but taking out those back in the day when there were 0% credit cards or 1.8 credit card or whatever, take it, start your business venture, and then you pay it back. That's where people fall short, man.
Right.
If you miss that mark, oof. That's not, it's really, really, really bad. But so what we wanted to do is maybe a 2-parter here where we look at some sentences, and really what this is case study that's been conducted and looked at and researched, and people much smarter than us say, if you put these things to work in your life, it may make you more money than that 4-year business degree in this instance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? You're kind of excited.
I mean, I am, because I've listened to a couple of these types of things or read them, and I'm like... And most people don't do those things.
That's right. Yeah. You really, and that's what when you go to these universities and you go to school, you're doing a couple of things. It's never a bad investment. Remember that, because education is power. Remember that I said that. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It is power. You may not immediately be elevated to that position that you want.
Well,
but you stand a far better chance than somebody who perhaps can't talk the talk.
It's true. Yeah. But I think it's potential power.
Okay.
Because I think there's a lot of informed people out there, but they're doing nothing with it.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I really do. So I guess everything that we say, and if you go back to our philosophy here, is you can learn, you can develop, but you got to take that last step. You got to launch.
Yeah, because I mean, you can learn and develop and learn and develop and learn and develop and learn and develop.
I know.
And learn and develop and learn and develop.
What'd you do with
then if you don't launch the dang thing, you don't make any money.
That's true. And then what was it?
That's what they always say, right? Like it's like you can have the best possible product in the world, but if no one knows about it,
gosh,
then is it the best?
It's so true.
Yeah.
And that's why all the mom and pops. Now I did see something this week that I love, and I wanted to share this with you guys. Gosh, hang on. I don't know that I. You know what? Let me prepare on that one. It's these sayings that you love and you hold on to and they touch you. And then at my age, you're like, man, that was a really good saying. What was it? I'm not sure.
You've also heard 1,000 of them or more.
Oh, exactly. It's just little things, it just makes you stop and think, like, if you want small businesses to exist, you have to go into those small businesses, because if you don't, they make like an exit. You know what I mean? It was a play on words there, but and it's so true. We've talked about it before. If you're on Main Street and you're driving around, you're like, man, that's a really cool store. I'd like to go in there. Please go, because if you don't, it's not going to be there for you.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about, and it really hit home, and because it's still a tough time to be in business. You know, a small business. Yeah. So you gotta help those people with their
especially in Illinois.
Oof. You might be right, though. Okay. All right. Are we going to start this list, and we'll talk about each and see how far we get? We may have to break this into a couple of different marketability podcasts. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hit me with it.
All right. Number 1, people buy with emotion, then justify with logic. So you got to play on emotions, and get people. Maybe that's that act quickly kind of thing. You hear that all the time. Yeah. Buy with emotion, then justify with logic. Yeah,
I think it's a lot of that is like a good rule of thumb. I think a lot of people use in sales is like, the best time to plant a tree was yesterday, and now the best time is now, or 20 years ago, and then the best time is now.
Right. Wow.
And so if you want to change whatever that issue is that you're solving, you got to get people to think it's time to do that now, like today, right now.
Play on their emotions. Yeah. You sell the transformation, not the product. How many weight loss products are out there right now?
Well, it's because the transformation is the product.
It is. Yeah. It's the end result. Like, I mean, for you, you're buying a better body. You're buying a better mind. You're buying a better, Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Like, it's like, we're not like Growing Media, for example. Like, we're not trying to sell you a video. We're trying to show you that like we can create a video that will then create a bigger business for you to hire more people, to make more money.
Are you out on the street telling people this? That's brilliant, and it is so true.
Yeah, like we're not just like a video marketing agency.
No,
like that's not really what we are.
No,
we're a business that creates expansion for other businesses.
Dude, we're here to grow your business, no doubt. Yeah. We just found out a way to do it through, telling your story with video and all of that good stuff. Yeah. That's so good. Write that down. I won't remember it, but write it down. It'll be great.
I can't. I'm a pen.
All right. Listen, number 3, don't argue your prices. Know what you're worth and stand by it.
Yeah.
I love that. And there have been so many stories in my career where, I mean, I've had twofold experience here where sometimes if it's too affordable or cheap, people don't value it, and they don't appreciate it as much.
Right.
If they had to pay more for it, then it means more.
It does. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have always noticed that if I buy a piece of gear, for example, I have lots of gear that
you do have lots
I will take extra care of some particular things.
It costs a lot of money.
This thing will be like this much money. I'll be like, wow, I can't just throw that around. I gotta make sure it's safe, and
so you value it.
And if my heart drops a little bit, if like one of those particular pieces of gear is like not working properly, I'm like, do I have to replace that?
Do you feel like, or you've probably seen it over the course of your business, does it make better sound, better music when it's more expensive? Or is that just something in your mind that you've
So that there's a weird line there, especially in the audio industry. It's kind of freaking weird, but yes, there is a sound element to it, and there's arguments all day all over the internet about that. But for me, it's functionality. A lot of them sound good, especially even the cheaper stuff now actually sounds really, really good. For example, like we're not even speaking into like some fancy microphone or a fancy interface. Right. These are a relatively low,
but it sounds great.
It sounds great. And so, you know, a lot of the stuff now, it's like you can get by with cheaper stuff, but for me, it's the functionality. So like the stuff that I have, I like to do big live recordings. So I need expansion to where I can create, I need more room for more channels, more for the bigger stuff.
Okay.
And there are a bunch of companies that don't offer that type of expansion within their ecosystem.
Oh, yeah.
And so for me, it's like the one that I do have, which name drop is Universal Audio, is their gear.
What do we need from them? Because you just dropped the name, so
literally anything. All their stuff is good.
Yeah. Now we just got to remember to send this to you.
Actually, give me one of your Bach microphones. That would be great.
Yes,
they're only
please.
like $5,000, but
perfect.
but like that's the selling point for me is I love their interface. I love how it functions. It almost acts as like you're on an analog console, but inside your computer.
Right.
Which for me is like a dream come true because I would love to have an analog console, but I don't want to lug it around. Right.
Smart.
Yeah.
And you can apply that to any business. So think about it. You may think you're buying on the cheap. How long is it going to last you? How well is it going to serve you? Was it really a good investment, no matter how small, how large, if it's not going to have the functionality or give you that length of time for usage and such that you're going to need?
Well, and that's why they say the riches are in the niches, right? Because it's like, if you are like, hey, I have this personal development program and it's for every single person. Well, how do people know? Like you know what I mean? It's so general and like it's like where does that land? But if you're like, I do personal development for life coaches that coach people on you know, how to develop their subconscious mind. Then you get to this person who does that exact thing and they're like, holy crap, that's exactly for me.
Okay.
They're going to pay a much higher price because it's exactly for them.
What they want. Yeah. Wow. You know, it's crazy because the other thing you got to take into account, where you're trying to live and work in the country, right? Of course, we're all in business together now because of the internet and how easy it is to do business together. But we've had this happen truly at Growing Media, where we were pitching a production package to a company on the East Coast, right? And we've had success for many years and we've done it for many different brands. And we're like, we got this. We're good. We can do it for this. And the heads of the company called and said, you couldn't possibly do it for that. I'm like, well, okay. Well, how much do we need to do it for?
Yeah.
And I really learned, I learned so many lessons that day. You know, back to what we said, just you set your price, maybe provide more of an insight that it is a little more affordable to do business where we are.
Sure.
We want your business. You've never tried us before.
Right.
If we can get you to come into this market and give us a shot, we can do it for this price.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's going to be much more if we have an office in New York. I mean, our expenses will be more. So you have to also take that into consideration. But it sort of taught me at that time too, don't be afraid to value yourself. Do you consider the marketplace? I don't know, because then that makes me nervous. I've always felt like just charge what you need to charge. And it's not like we're picking and choosing, you know, we know it works. And the other thing is our philosophy has always been, we want residuals. Like we want you to stay with us so we can help you make money. We don't want a lot of one-offs.
Yeah.
Which means you can have the sticker shock where it's going to cost a lot of money to do business with us right now because we're going to do this big production, but then you go away. Well, we don't know how well you did with it. We don't know where you placed it. We'd much rather have a more palpable production cost and then place it for you and know how it does. So we can follow the success as well because we're vested.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because we like long-term clients.
Yes, we do.
We don't want you to just show up for a few months.
No, we like to be at your children's births. We like to be at their parties. You know, we like you to be at ours. I mean,
don't worry, we'll have 4K cameras on your child.
Absolutely, you will not miss a thing. It'll be great. The memories will be amazing.
Are we opening up a division for childbirth?
that's where I draw the line.
Videography?
No, we're not there yet.
I mean, it would just be you, Ashley, and Emily. It wouldn't be any
well,
of the guys.
not anymore. People don't care. They're doing these home births in bathtubs, and they let the whole family come over, and they're eating like pecan pie and watching her, and it's random.
I'm really uncomfortable.
I'm very uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable myself. Okay. And to all you ladies who do that, I love it, babe. You love your body. You love what your body can do. I think it's amazing. Personally, not going to be eating during the process.
Okay, next quote.
Okay. All right. This is probably going to be the last one. Well, maybe two more. Okay.
We got a few more.
So we're going to have a lot of podcasts about this. But all right, here we go. And really put your thinking caps on. Whatever business you're in, it's still imperative that you study psychology, cognitive bias, and body language. Whatever business you're in, you still need to study those things to be successful, to be able to sell it, to see how people are responding. Do you agree, disagree?
Yeah, and actually, I think we've done an episode on this before of like, you have to really understand how your customer reacts to your product or your marketing, because otherwise, how are you supposed to sell to someone if you don't really know what they want?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we're diving a little bit deeper here. It's easier to sell an offer that solves a pain than one fulfilling a desire. That's that whole need and want kind of thing.
Yeah, you know? but I think there are it's interesting how that's worded, because I think sometimes you desire something so bad that it becomes a pain.
I like it.
If it's like more money or more freedom, or I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? A better haircut.
Okay. I mean, look, we've given you a lot to think about. That's we've encountered so many people of late. There's not really a magic bullet, a magic potion. If you look around, everybody's talking about how they can help you do this and how you need to be doing this. And there's a lot of noise out there. But if you stay true to yourself, true to the vision, educate yourself, no matter if you're doing that the traditional route or you've got some other way to do it, if you've come up with a better way, let us know. I'd like to know.
I would love to know.
Yeah. I don't think there's one way to do anything. Just there's a lot of ways to get there.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know how you'd do it.
I think there's a million ways to make $1 million. Probably more than that, actually.
And that's it. I mean, you're there. So what's your next level?
I'm at $1 million.
Look, we're planning it. We've got it figured out. So
my next step is to get better. 1% better every day.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And this goes back to that whole analogy. If you're green, you'll grow. But if you already think you know it all, you'll rot. You know what I mean? There's no room for growth. Like if you're green, I'm talking about if you're still learning some things in your industry or your business or whatever it is that you want to do, the moment you think you know it all and you don't have any room for growth,
Yeah, it's the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset.
Yeah, no doubt. And back to Bezos, I mean, the only reason I'm referring to him today is because there was a huge write-up. And did you know his real dad was like a unicyclist and a circus performer?
No.
Yeah, he was. It was a lot. You just look.
Wow.
Yeah. But he studies and he's always advancing. He's always trying new things. Yeah. And, he's listening. The other thing that's so key is he listens to his customer base. Anything that they say, and they talk about how they go in these meetings and there's like a 6-page and you have to read it all. Like you better know the company that you're working for. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the success he's had. Maybe there's something to that.
Success and the culture.
It is.
In the leadership there. I mean,
are you going to write the 6 pages or no for our team?
Don't want that.
No, we don't.
No.
You're right.
They'll be riddled with
those
jokes, which is actually be dad jokes now. So.
Oh yeah. How's that going?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are great.
Dad,
I'm
hubby.
so tired of waking up at 4:30 though.
Why are you doing that?
Because she goes to work at 6.
And you get up and make breakfast and do the coffee
Lena,
and then make the bed and then help her out to the car. You're such a good husband.
The most that I do for her in the morning
is you wake up with her and say, good morning.
Make the bed.
Okay.
That's usually what I do is I make the bed.
Does she step on the other side? She's on the other side and you do it together? Or
Nope. No,
what?
She rolls out and starts doing her makeup like the first thing.
And then you do the... Okay.
No, she goes to make sure Gabby's awake.
Okay.
Go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Maybe challenge her tomorrow. Just, hey, honey, just stay right there and we'll get this real quick. See what happens.
She doesn't go in early tomorrow.
Oh, so you can practice making the bed together.
No, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. And listen, there's going to be more of this to come. We'd love to know your feedback, your thoughts, what you're doing. If you want to come on the podcast and school us, we'd be open to that. MarketAbilities. And it's produced by Growing Media. Remember that company that we're not producing videos as much as developing a way for you to make more money.
Yes.
Gosh, that's a great business plan.
Good.
Yeah, it's going to work well.
Told you.
All right. Till next time, guys.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.